was watching another video from the Understanding Conspiracy channel. He's the guy that did the clown stuff with the Nephilim I was talking about the other day. And I was like 7 minutes into this video where he was talking to this other guy, this other True Channel guy. And I just had to stop the video and just stare at the wall. What it was about really is it's a subject I talk about here a lot, where how you waking people up, like when you first come into some of this information, you think erroneously, wow, I gotta let people know about this because I want them to tell me about this shit if they knew it was happening, if they knew that everything around me is basically a complete fucking work and this is kayfabe and we're in the WWE all the time from all angles for as far as I can see, you know. But the enormity of that concept makes trying to explain it to someone impossible. Like I used to try to think like, well, I got to get a way in, and I'd try to find some point of interest that we shared in common, or because I've tried this a couple times with people, especially in the early days. I told a story once about how my old guitar player Lilith came to visit, and I thought I'd spring this shit on her because she's pretty open-minded, and you know, we used to be really good friends, and we kind of had understood a lot of the same stuff. So I figured I figured she might even know about a lot of shit already. No, and it ruined my relationship with her. I don't think we've spoken since. I mean, it's probably kind of ruined anyway from older shit, but there was a bit of a reconciliation there. It didn't last long, unfortunately. But the yeah, and then I tried with a couple other people, you know, and overwhelmingly it turned out exactly like what he was saying in this video, and that's where I started talking about the Agent Smith type of thing, where people sort of adapt this kind of matrixy Agent Smith thing, where they, if they could, they would call the Gestapo on you. And then when we entered into that period a couple of years ago, where they could call the Gestapo on you, they fucking wanted to call the Gestapo on you, like for having too many people in your house. It was a rough period, man. But it started this channel though, because I mean, aside from some other stuff, I was already making videos for myself, for self-reference, but Hawaii was, the media was hammering on in all the newspapers and the online media here in Hawaii, saying Hawaii is on the brink. Hospitals overflowed. They made it sound like there were piles of bodies being burned with kerosene, like over behind the stores and shit. What was going on was just a regular, you know, regular Hawaii experience. Just people crowded all over Kalakaua, watching street performers and stuff. So what I would do is I would take, I'd go around filming what was happening here and juxtaposing the news reports with it, you know, just to take the piss out of it, and that's how it started. But it's totally unrelated. But anyway, yeah, when you first start coming into this stuff, you wrongly assume that shit, you know. Maybe you would like it if someone told you, but most people don't want to know. And especially when you start finding this information out, when you start working through it, it's when you're the most spurgy, because it's when the most profound kind of changes happen within you. It's like, you know, you're trying to deal with it and the implications of what it means, no matter how you come into it, no matter what part got you into it, you're trying to work it out, you know. And a lot of times you can end up sounding like Jazz Coleman, you know, and I still do. I go up, but I sound fucking crazy sometimes when I've had a couple Red Bulls, you know. I still do that shit. And he said something like, you know, having this information is a responsibility, and you're an ambassador of this information. And how you present it to people is very important. Because some people will look at you and be like, oh, I don't want to end up like that guy. I think I already had that, though, as far as me, because I had that before. I've had that for years. People saying they don't want to end up like me. So, I mean, even the people that I came to with this stuff, although they rejected it, it wasn't like he's lost his mind. It was more like, well, we know he's crazy, you know? But for people that don't know you, it can if you present it to them the wrong way, it's going to turn them off and you're going to lose them. I would argue that I don't care how it's presented to you, right? If you reject even the notion out of hand that you don't want to know about it, then those aren't people that are going to make it. Not all turtles make it to the ocean. You know what I mean? You can present it in a spurgy way, but someone with a curious mind and an open heart would say, that sounds fucked up, but let me look at this. If they're saying you're fucking crazy and they do that Agent Smith response, then yeah, there's no point. And sadly, that's 95% of people. We're a small fucking group, we happy few. But he really got me thinking when he's talking about how you present yourself and how you present the information. I think I'm getting better at doing that. I have like sort of if you've ever watched, I have sort of a casual approach. I try to keep humor involved in some way, a bit of levity. And I'm kind of a ridiculous person myself. You know, I'm not like an intense kind of individual. I mean, fucking look at me. So I already have that kind of going. So I don't think I could give a presentation that's super serial. Like what are some of these guys? Who's the guy I always hammer on for buying action figures? Or he gets mad when you buy action figures. Or he doesn't. He brought it up once, and I've just obsessed over it now. Oh, whatever. God, call for an uprising. You know, he did this thing once about, you know, adult collectors that collect toys and action figures. You should be saving that money for beans and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, I guess, but I'll just be the first house the fucking wandering bandits rob if they know I have beans in there. If they know I have a bunch of Batman action figures, they're probably not going to bother me. You don't need those in the apocalypse. I mean, I need them. I'll need them. I'll always need them. But most normal people won't, right? He's the guy with the most outrageous, like, thumbnails, too. You and your family are already dead. You just don't know it. You've been dead for 5 years. Your family's burning in hell. And you don't know it yet. It's like, dude, you said I was in hell 10 years ago. Where are we now? Did we come out the other side? Are we in heaven? So now we're in heaven? We're going to work our way down again? Fuck out of here with that shit. So, but yeah, when I come across a new creator that's kind of been hidden from me, and I feel like they're hidden from people that want to see them, and I get stupid E-drama horse shit put in my face, like fucking the Boogie 2000 documentary. 5 slightly overweight guys are gonna sit around on 4 squares on your screen and discuss this important fucking thing. It's like, fuck you all. And then you look and all these guys are like, they're all repped by CAA or something out of Hollywood. Whatever. Something. But that's what they bombard me with, you know? So, whenever I find a new guy, like Understanding Conspiracy, I just go through all their shit like a crazy person. I pick out all their stuff. This guy, though, I tend to throw around compliments a lot, and people tend to throw them around at me. And it's nice, you know, but this guy really is fucking, he's kind of Rain Man-ish. Like, he's super smart. He's not autistic. He's just, like, really smart. And so his stuff's really interesting. Like, because some of these concepts are so wacky, but if you get a guy like that, there's ways to do it. Our approaches are different. He has, like, a respectability about him. You know, he's an author. I think he was involved in education or something. I forget what it was, but very clean cut, very well-spoken, articulate. It's like almost like he's like, almost like a university professor or something. So I think when certain people would see him, they take him seriously. His presentation is good. I have a different style, you know, if that's what you call it, I guess. But the yeah, it is important how you present the information, because what I'm looking for is I'm looking for that guy or that girl. Although I'd rather have a guy, because, you know, women, you know, whatever, they get there. I'm not saying they're not as smart as we are or capable as we are, but they're certainly not as strong as we are. It's okay, they don't watch. I have analytics, I know they don't watch me. But I want to get that guy that's like on the fence kind of, or close. It's just that even when you get that person, now they're into this shit too. And he talks about this doom cycle where, okay, now you know all this stuff, right? You're trying to reach the desperate few people that you can here and there to get them to know this shit. And then what? And then what? You just obsess over it. What I call those, and I've always called this that. I always called this that. Horizontal pursuits. I always say, imagine like truth and understanding. The elevator of truth and understanding, just like how political power works, like in I was going to say this country, but any country, the top is the most understanding, the most truth, the most power, you know, is up the top. And when you're going up to try to get more truth, understanding, power, whatever, you want to stay on. By getting off the elevator to walk around the floor that says space shuttles are helium balloons, even though they are, all of a sudden you're not on the elevator anymore. You're wandering into the weeds of learning all this shit about NASA and how all the space shuttles are helium balloons. Whatever, okay, that you find that out. Now what? Now what do you do? Well, I tell more people. Do you see what I mean? Like, see what happens? Like, you're in this loop. Like, he was referring to it as the doom loop. I think that's what he referred to it. If not, he should, because it's a good name. I'm trying to find a place where there's not people. I often end up, I talk a lot of crazy stuff. I don't want to get flagged in my neighborhood any more than I already have. Oh, I could tell you some stories about getting flagged in my neighborhood. But stay on fucking point. Focus. So, yeah, you're no longer reaching the top. You're no longer going vertically, you're going horizontally. You've got off a floor and you're in the weeds. In politics, it's like people think, well, I don't know if people are aware that political power is vertical. It's not horizontal. People with the power are at the top. So when you're on a horizontal floor, picking left or right, or blue or red, you're just bouncing back and forth playing idiot ping pong. No one's gaining in strength, power, or stature because you're off the fucking elevator. You're over here fighting with these idiots on this side and these idiots fighting with those idiots. You're never going to advance or go up or learn or glean any truth because you're just going back and forth and that idiot ping pong. But it's weird, like I think people are comfortable in that. Robots are strange, man. Or whatever you want to call them, 3D people. The majority of the individuals you have to deal with on a day-to-day basis. And I'm only this, you know, I know people get down when I talk like you know, what do you think, you better? Well, it's like, yeah, a couple years ago, and yeah, yes, by the way, a couple years ago, that pretty much all these motherfuckers wanted me in a goddamn camp. Sorry, God, I mean, I'm trying to not say GD. They wanted me in a camp because I wouldn't take their mystery juice. Or, you know, at the very least, they wanted you pointed out or marked so that others could know about you. They wanted a two-tier kind of system with civilization. I don't forget this shit. I know people today will scoff and be like, yeah, long chat. No, I don't. I'm never going to forget that shit. I'm never going to forget that with one television transmission, these fuckers will fucking throw me in the fire, you know? They will do anything that television says. And that's a fact, Jack. I don't like it, but... So yeah, so what's the moral here? I don't fucking know. I'm just a schizo mumbling into his camera. I don't know what the moral is here. Endurance. We got to endure. That's it. You know, you can take these little horizontal trips and learn about NASA if you want, or learn about a new aspect of the evil if you want. But understand, it's a vertical pursuit. I would say take that time and energy and just try to learn more about truth, power, and your own beauty and your own spirituality, your own understandings. More quiet, reflective time, because you got all the answers. The answers are not out here, all right? The answers are in you, fucking encoded on your DNA. All the answers, all the questions. Quiet reflection will reveal this over time. That's why they don't want you to have quiet reflection. They want to keep you on a fucking hamster wheel, running around in circles to produce gold for your masters so that you can have a fucking roof over your head and maybe something to eat. Maybe these days, you know. They can't afford to let you discover what you really are. Because if you did, then the other guy might know too. And then the other guy, he might find out too. And I guess, you know, a few gals might find out if they did, you know, whatever. I guess we'll let them in. But, and then you're gonna fucking flip their card table over. Unless Monarch is watching this, you're my buddy, it's fun. I'm sorry, I'm just joking anyway. I shouldn't have to say that, but I guess I do. You'd flip the card table over. And they would have nothing. They would lose. Good day to you, sir. You get an F- in my book, and may God have mercy on your soul. That would be it. And that time's coming. People talk about God returning, and yeah, he's returning, but he's not going to be coming over on a cloud. He's coming through us. We just got to get our shit together. Don't blame the teacher. Blame the school.